Have you ever woken up one morning with a strange, unshakable feeling that something is wrong, not in the world around you, but in the way you've been living? You look at your daily routine, your decisions, the people you surround yourself with, and deep down you sense this is not truly your life. What if the version of you that the world sees, the way you talk, the way you act, even the things you want, isn't the real you at all, but a mask you've been wearing for so long that you've almost forgotten it's there? And what if I told you, the most important journey of your life isn't about going somewhere new or chasing something outside yourself. It's about turning inward, facing what you've hidden, and reclaiming the self you've always been? Welcome to Stoic Blend, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Today, we explore why life begins when you find yourself, and how to walk the Stoic path to true freedom, the hidden author of your life. From the moment you were born, the world began writing your script, your name, your role, your shoulds and shouldn'ts. They were handed to you before you could speak. You were taught what's acceptable, what's rewarded, and what's punished. At first, you didn't notice. You were just a child exploring. But slowly, you adapted, learning how to win approval and avoid rejection. You learned which parts of yourself to show and which to hide. By the time you reached adulthood, you had a persona, a mask that fit so tightly it felt like your own skin. And maybe, like most people, you began to believe that was who you were. The mask and the shadow. Carl Jung had a word for that mask: the persona. It's the socially acceptable face we present to the world. It's not evil. It helps us function in society. But there's a danger. If you only live as the persona, you forget the self behind it. And what about the parts of you the mask hides? Jung called this the shadow: your fears, your repressed desires, your unspoken emotions, and even your hidden strengths. The shadow doesn't vanish when ignored. It works in secret, shaping your choices, your relationships, and your emotional reactions. Ever instantly disliked someone without knowing why? Often, it's because they mirror something in you, a trait you've denied, but can't quite escape: the call to wholeness. Here's where the Stoic insight comes in. Life begins when you find yourself. That doesn't mean building a better mask. It means taking off the mask entirely and meeting what's beneath it, both the light and the dark. Finding yourself is about wholeness, not perfection. It's integrating your shadow instead of running from it. It's recognizing that your so-called flaws may carry your greatest strengths. Why most people never do this? Most never take this journey. They stay in identities designed by others. They chase approval, hoping happiness will come from success or belonging. But even when they get those things, there's a quiet unrest, a sense that something essential is missing. That longing is the voice of your deeper self, calling you to stop living on the surface. The barriers inside us. Why is it so hard? Because to find yourself, you have to face discomfort. Silence can be frightening when you've been running from your thoughts. Questioning long-held beliefs can feel like tearing down the walls that keep you safe. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you must look within. Within is the fountain of good. But looking within means you will see not just your virtues, but your contradictions, avoidance, and distraction. Think about how we avoid ourselves. We fill our days with noise, social media, endless work, constant entertainment, anything to avoid that still moment when the truth might surface. But no matter how much you distract yourself, the parts of you you've ignored don't go away. They show up as anxiety, self-sabotage, shallow relationships, or that nagging feeling of being lost, facing the shadow. So what happens when you finally turn to face your shadow? You see that your fears, once confronted, lose their grip. That the qualities you dislike in others may hold lessons for you. That the pain you've carried might be the soil for your greatest growth. It's like stepping into a dark room. You're afraid at first, but as your eyes adjust, you realize there's treasure hidden in the corners. Archetypes at play. Jung spoke of archetypes, universal patterns that live in the collective unconscious. The hero, the wise mentor, the shadowy villain. They're not just stories, they're forces alive within you. The hero in you wants purpose, growth, and challenge. But the hero must face the shadow, the fear, doubt, and resistance that hold you back. In myths, the hero confronts a monster. In life, you confront the parts of yourself you've avoided, the inner balance. Then there's the anima and animus, the balance of masculine and feminine energies within each person. One side brings logic, discipline, and structure. The other brings intuition, creativity, and emotional depth. When you reject one side, you feel incomplete. But when you embrace both, you feel whole. The deepest illusion. And here's the final insight. The greatest obstacle to finding yourself is the illusion of a fixed self. Most think, I am this person, and that's all I'll ever be. But the truth? You are fluid, evolving, far more expansive than any label. The Stoics saw identity as a choice, shaped by reason and virtue. Jung saw it as a living, changing process of integration. Both point to the same truth. You are not finished. How to begin? 1. Embrace the unknown. Growth happens in uncertainty. 2. Release labels. You are not just your job, your past, or your personality type. 3. Listen to your inner voice. Your dreams, instincts, and quiet intuitions are not random, they are guidance. 4. Stay in the process. Finding yourself is not a one-time event. It's a lifetime of peeling back layers. The Stoic choice. You have two options. Keep living as a fragment, shaped by fear and expectation, or begin the journey to wholeness, meeting every part of yourself without judgment. Because life begins when you find yourself. And when you do, you stop merely existing, you start truly living. If this resonates with you, don't let it fade when the video ends. Subscribe to Stoic Blend, where we share the tools and wisdom to help you master your mind, free yourself from illusions, and live with unshakable purpose. The mask is optional. Your true self is waiting.